Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If I sound under the weather, I've got a little bit of a chest infection. It happens. Today we're going to take a nice little flight to Texas as far as the flavors go. And we're going to cook Texas style ribs on my gateway drum right back here. This is going to be absolutely fantastic. We have Blues Hogs charcoal. We have 2 lumps of post oak. In the fire basket, I'm going to go fire up and we'll see at the cutting board. We've just went ahead and we're starting to dial back our vents. We're not going to dial back our exhaust until we are actually dialing in on the 250 degrees we will start at for the first hour. Look at that blue smoke. So one of the largest lies in Texas style barbecue is they only use kosher salt and coarse ground black pepper. That is a barefaced lie. So right now we're going to we have a 3/4 cup. You can use whatever ratio you want, really not a big deal. So we're going to go about half of this, about half of that. You can use half of a half cup. You can use what the hell ever you like. You can even buy a pre-mixed rub. Now we're going to fill this thing all the way up. That just went all the way in. Now we're going to then take Lowry seasoning salt, very, very popular. We are going to apply that on its own. We're going to just give this a quick kind of stir. And there's your single-handedly classic Texas barbecue rub. We're going to put that to the side. We're going to go get our ribs in just a second. So here we have a store-bought rack of St. Louis ribs. These were buy one get one free, so I bought 4 racks. This one will be used for today's Texas post oak brisket on the gateway drum. This is what it looks like. You can actually hold the package up like this and kind of just give them a squeeze, use your fingers, do whatever you want. And all the purge will go to the bottom of the bag. So when you cut that open, you should have a much easier time and not getting stuff absolutely everywhere. See, it's already in the bottom of the bag. Give it a little shake and a dunst, as we say in Scotland. We're going to go ahead and put this out the way. Next thing you're going to want to do is to go ahead and pat your meat dry, because working with wet meat is extremely dangerous. Ask me how I know. Kind of get in there and give it a dry. Dump that in your trash pile. So, as you can see, we have a big fat flap right here. That's obviously going to have to go. We're probably going to execute that. There are bones right there. I think we'll execute that right here. This will be good for a pit snack. Any bits you see that are hanging off like so. Now you might come across some of this cartilage, like on this side. We'll rotate this over. See, like stuff like this. This is just when they hit it with a bandsaw. If you've got a sharp enough knife, you can get through it no problem. We're going to kind of round this off a little bit. I'm happy with the shape on the top. You're going to always have stuff like this. Now, on St. Louis or Texas cut ribs, you will have this skirt. That is always going to be there. If that is removed, you got lucky. It's very simple. You just kind of follow a 45-degree angle. And trim it up. That is actually pork skirt. You can come in here and kind of shave these down so they cook even. This is a little bit high as well. We are going to go ahead and trim that off. Now there's nothing but cartilage in that corner. You can see it right here. It's really good to have a big fat meat cleaver at this point. But I have a very sharp boning knife and it will go right through it as well. We're going to kind of clean this fat up right here. You do not have to do that. We are cooking on a drum, but I am a perfectionist. Now let's discuss the membrane. The membrane, you can actually, if you're cooking on a drum or you're cooking an offset, and a lot of the Texas joints do not actually remove it. They will actually just kind of having to lean into this to get them off. That's fine. See, that's that hard cartilage. I'm not worried about that. That might actually come off as we're cooking, as it shrinks in. Sometimes you'll hear it pop off. Rotating back around here. Now, I could remove this bit, but I'm not really going to worry about it. It's going to render down. We are going to be rolling hot and fast in the later part of this cook. So our next victim is going to actually be the membrane. So that's the bone right there. You want to come about over here. You want to just take your butter knife and start getting rolling right under it. Now, taking them off of spares is going to be a lot harder than it is on baby backs. A lot of the times baby backs you can just rip them right off. A lot of Texas joints do not do this because they're cooking an absolute ton of them. But we're not a Texas barbecue joint, although I do cook a lot of Texas barbecue, and I do have an offset. I'm going to take my time. Now I see a shiner on the end that's going to have to go. See, we have a shiner bone right on the end. It's already... We got another last little bit of flap. We're going to go ahead and have to remove this because this will fall off within about 10 minutes. We want to go right up against that bone, trying to save as much of the meat on the other side of it as possible. Kind of clean up the end a little bit. This is starting to get fat, starting to get warm, so it's starting to become a pain in the butt. It's just creating more and more of this stuff. You're going to go ahead and actually remove it. It's looking like it wants to separate on its own. So if she wants to go, I shall not stop her. You could sit and do this all day, and before you know it, you have a competition style rib. Okay, I'm happy with this. It's all even. There's no real crazy corners. Everything looks really good. We're going to go ahead and clean this up. We will meet you back here in a minute. We're going to go ahead and kind of give it a little scrape, like you see me doing on the baby backs. Getting a lot of that crap off. Kind of just gives it a quick little scrapey clean. I'll see you all back here shortly. We're going to go ahead and remove this, get rid of this, and clean on up. Okay, so we have the drum running at about just a smidge over 250. We have our ribs prepped. Now we're going to go ahead and season them. So what I've been doing recently is I have been using apple cider vinegar and water just as a kind of moisturizer to kind of get some bind on them. We're going to now take we're going to give that a mix, because salt likes to settle to the bottom. Give them a little spread. Alright, now we're going to go in with our lurries. I like to really kind of... One of the biggest lies in Texas barbecue is we only use salt and pepper. That's what we should be looking like on one side. Looks absolutely great. We're going to go ahead and flip her over to the presentation side. We're not going to worry about that. We're going to do the same thing, mix up our salt and pepper because it will separate. We're going to go ahead and give her a blast with the apple cider vinegar. That will all render out because we're cooking on a drum. We want a bunch of texture to adhere to this. And a lot of the larger Texas joints, you'll see them using I'm happy with that seasoning. Let's go ahead on with our lurries. That's why we only went half the salt, because we knew we were putting lurries on it. I'm going to go ahead and lightly season the ends. Going to kind of get the sides like that. I am happy with that. That is what our Texas style rib is going to look like right now. She's going to look absolutely fantastic. We're going to let her sit here for about 20 minutes. And then we will get to dropping her on the gateway drum. Okay, we're pouring out some gorgeous smoke. The post oak's rolling. We're hitting about 200 and looks like 75 degrees, somewhere in between 250 and 300. And we're going to pop the drum. Try not to burn her finger in the process. Our ribs have gotten nice and sweaty, as y'all can see. We're going to kind of feel the heat. We're going to kind of lay them along the back like that. That's the way the heat's coming. We're going to bunch them up. And we're ready. We're rocking and rolling now. These are going to be awesome. It's not too hot yet. Give it the pop. And we are officially rolling. Alright, let's give these ribs a check. Oh, they look starting to look really good. They look absolutely amazing. We're just going to keep on going. Starting to get some beautiful color. Starting to render some fat from it. We're just going to keep on rolling. As you can see, we're starting to look a little bit better. We are actually going to start hitting it with the apple cider and water mixture. We really are starting to look beautiful. We're going to go ahead and shut this puppy down. We don't want it to spike. We're running at 300 degrees. Needles up. Awesome. Alright, we're back here at the cutting board. We're going to go ahead and remove these off of the pit to get them wrapped. They are finally seeing the color that I want. We're going to show you all the color that you're looking for. We're just now entering the beautiful stage. As you can see, they're gorgeous. They're really, really nice. We're going to go ahead and place these down. Back looks absolutely fantastic. We're going to go ahead and close the pit so we don't get a spike. Get that little pop going. We got a little bit of bone marrow squeeze out. Now we're going to go ahead and kind of use this again. These smell phenomenal. They just kind of make this paper a little bit more pliable. Now we're going to go ahead and wrap them. They just look amazing, don't they? They just look absolutely fantastic. Now, just like butcher's paper, you want to wrap it in, like so. We're now bone side up. And then round one more time. We're going to drop that on there. We're going to go ahead and kind of give this a quick blast with this and let it absorb so it becomes more pliable. And we're now going to go back onto the pit. I would probably say about maybe another hour and a half. We'll come out and check it. Alright, we're back again. Pop this can off. We're not there yet. We're just going to keep on going. We're going to move this forward. Alright, here's where we're going to go ahead and start checking the ribs to kind of see what they're like. We'll put the lid back on this because these are smelling very Texas porky. We're going to use our trusty Thermopen. Might be able to get right through the paper actually. And these are done. These are very tender. They're 210 degrees. They're dropping right through it like butter. You can feel the kind of bend and flex is good. We're now going to go ahead and let these rest down to 100 and about 50 to 60 degrees. And then we're going to go ahead and put them down for a long rest in a Holgan oven for 2 to 3 hours until we actually get ready to go ahead and eat them. Yeehaw! Alright, let's see what we have here. We're opening it off camera. Can the drum cook Central Texas barbecue? Yes, it can. Doesn't that just look absolutely phenomenal? Now, we're going to go ahead and kind of give these a little chop. Nice, hot and fast, peppery, really, really good. We're going to kind of cut it in half, right about there. How we're looking on the inside, looks really, really good. Looks absolutely, feels just great. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Just gorgeous, gorgeous smoke ring. There we go. Let's go ahead and give this puppy a try. Alright, here we have our beautiful, beautiful Central Texas style rib that we cooked on the gateway drum for the Series 3. Let's give this puppy a try. Let's flip around to the meat side. It feels amazing. Really well rendered. Phenomenal, phenomenal. Peppery, barky, really Texas heavy flavors. Cooked perfectly, not coming off the bone. If that ain't country, that's a damned good joke. That is definitely Central Texas. Moist, super tender. We're not eating 2 of these ribs. We'll end up full. That's like, oh, that's sheer amazing. Well, thanks very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great one. I hope you all enjoyed this. This is going to be part of a 10-part series. This is episode number 3. Mwah.